This is Mr. Martin. In this video we're just continuing with the notes that we started in the last video on dilation, scale factor, and similarity. So in the last video we finished with finding the scale factor between the two quadrilaterals here. So a scale factor of 2 to 1 basically means that every side in quad is twice as big as every side on quadrilateral 5. So it's a little bit more straightforward since it's 2 to 1, but I'm going to go ahead and show you all the different steps that we'll normally take when it's not as obvious as it might be in this case. So we want to calculate x, y, and z. So I'm going to start with the scale factor that we found out in part B. Every time we go to solve for one of these three variables. So I'm going to start with 2 to 1, and then let's see where x is up here. X is on EF, so that's going to match with DQ. So it's 2 to 1, so it's left to right, so I have to go left to right. So that's going to be 8 over x equals 8 over x. Okay, then I'm going to cross multiply, so 2x is equal to 8. And divide by 2, and we get x is equal to 4. Okay, so back up here, I've got 4. Alright, so we're always going left over right. Okay, now let's find y. So again, I'm going to start with my scale factor, so 2 to 1. That's why my scale factor is so important, because I'm going to use it always to find missing sides. So let's look at y up in the picture. So y is on the blue segment, so I'm going to do y over 5. Y over 5, again I'll cross multiply. 1 times y is just y. 2 times 5 is 10, so there's y. And then for z again, I'm going to do 2 to 1. Let's take a look at z. So here's my z on the green, so again I have to go left to right, so 9 over z. 9 over z, so cross multiply, I have 2z is equal to 9, divide by 2, and I get z is equal to 4.5. If you want to leave it as 9/2, you can. Alright, so there's x, y, and z. Again, notice how I used the scale factor for each time when I was finding the missing piece. Okay, here's my scale factor. I used it all 3 times. Alright, now for part D, what we want to do is find the ratio of the perimeter of quadrilateral quad to quadrilateral 5. So I want the perimeter of QUAD. So I'm going to add up the 4 sides of quad, so that would be 8 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10. So that gives us 33. And I need the perimeter of FIVE. So the 4 sides there are 4 plus 3 plus 4.5 plus 5. So that's 16.5. So now that I have those two perimeters, I can find the ratio of the perimeter of quad. Remember, ratio is just a fraction. There's my fraction bar. To the perimeter of FIVE. And that's going to be 33 over 16.5. And if I reduce that, that comes out to 2 to 1. So hopefully that looks familiar. So notice this is the same as the ratio of sides or the scale factor. Okay, so if you remember this little handy fact here, you don't need to do all this work. All you need to do when they ask you to find the ratio of the perimeters of the similar figures is write the scale factor. Alright, let's go ahead and look at one more here, and then I'll leave you to finish the rest of the notes on your own. Remember to feel free to get help when you need it. Other creates unique cork coasters to sell on her Etsy shop. They come in two sizes, small and large. To make these coasters, she creates a template for the shape on her computer, then enlarges it to get the bigger size. Find the missing dimensions on each coaster and solve for x. Alright, so let's go ahead and solve for x, because these are corresponding or matching angles. I know that x has to be the same as that angle, so I know that x has to be 124 degrees. Now, we have some missing stuff. I'm going to give those variables. I have a missing side here. We'll give that a y. And a missing side here, I'll give that a z. So we're going to have to find y and z. And the first thing I want to do is I want to find a pair of sides that has numbers on it. And there's a bunch of them here. I have an 11 and a 16.5. I have a 13 and a 19.5 and a 12 and an 18. I'm going to pick these because they don't have fractions. Oh, and I found one more side that we need to find. We'll give this a w right over there. Okay, so let's find our scale factor. So scale factor, okay, I'm going to go left to right, so 12 over 18. And then each of these can be divided by 6, so 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. You can use your calculator to reduce this as well, but make sure your scale factor is a fraction. That's going to be more helpful. Alright, so now I'm going to use this scale factor to help us find y and w and z. Okay, so the scale factor, so 2 to 3. And then let's start with y, so that's going to be y over 14.25. So let's cross multiply. So 3y is equal to 28.5. We'll divide both sides by 3. So y is equal to 9.5. Okay, and then let's go on to w. So again, we're going to use the same scale factor. So 2 to 3. And w matches with 4.3, so again I have to go left to right, so 4.3 over w. I'll cross multiply, so I get 2w equals 12.9, and divide both sides by 2, so I get w is equal to 6.45. Okay, and then the last one, again, I'm going to start with my scale factor, left to right, so 2 to 3, and I have z, so left is 4.5, that's the corresponding side with that, over z, so I get 2z is equal to 13.5, and I'll divide both sides by 2, and I get z is equal to 6.75. So there are all the missing sides, w, y, and z. Okay, so again, if you have questions, make sure you get those answered. Go ahead and finish the rest of the problems in the notes and the recap it, and we will see you in the next video.